Our stand-up guest for tonight always makes me laugh. She's performed at festivals all over the country. She's heading to Brisbane in August and Alice Springs in September. Please welcome Kirsty Webeck.
I was in the supermarket recently and a small child yelled out at me, "Hey, you look like a man." And I said, "Can you please tell that to my boss so it's reflected in my pay?" Don't even have a boss. Got him. Speaking of supermarkets, I just found out recently that I dress like a supermarket manager. I had no idea. I've been dressing like this for years and I thought it was just a good temperature balance. But it turns out all this time I've actually been channeling Cole's chic. And how I found out, I just done a gig and someone came up to me and they said, "Thank you so much for the gig, had a really great time. By the way, you dress like a supermarket manager." And like I was a bit annoyed, like it was a bit of an emotional roller coaster and I was a bit annoyed and then I had a quick look down and I was like, "Oh no, fair enough, that's just an observation." And it's funny because you don't realise how much things like that sink into your psyche until a little bit later on. So it was about 2 days later, I went zooming into Coles for some emergency soy milk because I'm a walking stereotype. Dressed like this, always am. And as I went through the little turnstile thing, I just went to turn right to head off to get the milk, and out of the corner of my left eye, I just saw some crushed grapes on the ground. And I didn't pause, I didn't draw breath, I just swung around and sacked Gavin from produce. I was like, "What do you call this, Gavin? This is bullshit. This is a supermarket OH&S issue. Pack up your things." And I could tell that Gavin was like, "Who the shit is this?" And then he had a quick look at the business time vest and was like, "Must be the new area manager." So he scurried off to pack up his items and I'm like, "All right, that's fixed now." And then I'm like, "Oh, that's still an issue." So I popped on the PA. "Service 20 to produce, please. Mop and bucket required." Everything's sweet, right? So off I go to get my milk. I've taken a few steps and then I'm like, "Oh, wait up. There's an issue here. There's an issue that needs to be rectified by the manager. There's a staffing gap on the floor." So I popped out to the back dock and I've just promoted Tracy. I've just gone, "Don't think your hard work's gone unnoticed, Trace. You've got the gig." Trace was pleased as punch. So produce was all settled. So I went on to get my milk, just cut a couple of laps to the supermarket, did a few price checks. I'm not above that. Got the milk, went to the checkout, got my staff discount. Smart. And then on my way out, I popped into Liquorland and just slashed all the prices. I got Gavin a six-pack because he'd had a rough day. I got Tracy a bottle of champagne. She had a lot to celebrate. Now, I've just moved house recently. That's the worst job in the world, I think we can all agree. And I always thought that I hated moving house more than anyone else in the world, but I'll tell you who actually does. It's removalists. Like, they're the unsung heroes of the universe, but they hate moving house so much. Like, from the second you call them up and you're like, "Hey, I'm moving house in a couple of weeks. I was wondering if you guys could help me out." They're like, "When?" Like, you're never going to meet a removalist who's like, "It's a vocation. I didn't choose to be a removalist, it chose me. But the signs were all there when I was about 6 years old. Mum came into the lounge and saw me stacking and unstacking boxes." She knew. Yeah, she knew. And another time, Dad came home from work and saw me nudging the fridge across the kitchen with my shoulder. He knew. Yeah, he knew. And another time, Granddad came out of the study and saw me scraping the paint off the hallway walls with a microwave. He knew. Yeah, he knew. You're never going to hear it. So I've moved house and I'm all settled into the new neighbourhood and I've done all the things that you're meant to do when you move to a new area. Like, I found the good cafe with the good coffee. Gavin from Produce is working there. I found the good parks to cruise around in and look at other people's dogs. Great. And then finally, I've moved in near a gym and I've joined the gym because I'm trying to get back my pre-baby body. And I was a particularly small fetus. Thank you very much.
Kirsty Webeck, everybody.